Hey traders, welcome back to our daily forex forecast. And today, this video we are recording it today for Monday, 8th of September 2025. So we do daily analysis like this to tell you where price is going next and where you should focus on price and what you should anticipate and expect in price coming in tomorrow. And first of all, we talked about how price deliver today in respect to what we call out, especially since today is Monday. We're going to call it in respect to what we call out on our weekly forex forecast and how we intended for price to deliver versus how the price deliver. Well, this is the dollar index, and as you all know, I analyze dollar, EU, GBP, and BTC. So, and I usually start with the dollar index, which is the major basis for our analysis. Uh, um, we know even though there is a slight correlation between other currencies and all, the dollar is still the basic dominance, and yeah, it's still showing on the forex market as well. So yeah, we call out that the daily price, which is today price, we expecting, we anticipate for price to create a fair value gap, which we did, but my call, or what I was anticipating for, is for price to deliver as a bullish candle for DXY, meaning we're going to be a bullish candle but still create a fair value gap. And well, we did not create that fair value. We did create a fair value gap, but it was in a bullish candle. It was a bearish candle, which is showing that price is very heavily short. That is, the price movement lower is going to be very fast and heavy, meaning we have a swing high here. All we have to be doing now is to keep selling DXY until we have a swing low, meaning whenever we have a swing low, we can now be targeting our daily order block and our fair value gap. So from now henceforth, we are going to continue to short, yeah, which although price did what we asked to do yesterday, but it did tape its hands to us and also support our monthly and our overall bias, so which is basically telling us that on this specific range that price has been ranging on, where price is now willing to leave that range, especially if tomorrow deliver completely bearish. And I am anticipating for tomorrow my highest expansion will be this sell side liquidity, although we might not tap on it, but since we have an CPI on Thursday, so price might not really reach here, although we can still get all the way to this point before CPI take us back. So it is even going to be a very good week, since on Friday we can anticipate for TGIF setup, but who knows where price is going to be before Friday. But for now, what we should look out for tomorrow on DXY is we're going to continue to sell lower, but how are we going to do that, and where are we going to be selling from, if you ask mainly? So this is what I normally do when I know that the next day candle is going to be a bearish candle. This is what I normally do. I take my Fibonacci tool and I measure the 50, the 25% region. So tomorrow we'll be targeting the 50 and the 25% region on DXY, which is between this 25% to this 50%. We are anticipating for price to retrace a little after the opening price, maybe retrace to the 25% and the 50%. And if you look at what we have on between the 50% and the 25%, we have this other block which is in the middle of, or between 50% region and 25% region, which is a very good. That means if price can tip its weak, that is the weak, right, on this daily order block before going lower, or we might not get all the way to that daily order block, but below the 25% region would be a very good safe area to anticipate or to engage in price on the lower time frame. So I'm going to leave this and let's go to the 4-hour time frame on the XY. So basically this is our 4-hour time frame. If we see here, this is a bullish order block, right? So basically we might not get to this daily order block except we want to wick below and take out the people who are in short around this area. But 25% region is actually very good area to expect price to retrace into before continue going lower. So we have this area, this 25 to 50% as our major area to expect price to retrace into going in tomorrow. And on the hourly time frame, we can see we also still have a very good order block on the hourly time frame, which is this candle is a good order block and a fair value gap, although it's an opening gap. So price open, we might keep on rallying around this area. And during London, I want to see price during London. Price should be around before London. I'm anticipating that before London price will be around this area. Then London will take us lower. Then New York will be a retracement into the London before continuation lower. We might on the XY we might not really get all the way to this point tomorrow. We might not really get here, but on EU it is showing since that liquidity is very close on EU, there is a very high opportunity EU might get all the way to this buy side liquidity, which is in proportion to the XY. So let's look at EU today. EU today actually did surprise me. Yeah, I take a loss today, right? Yeah, I'm not ashamed to say that, but it's just a one-time um loss on during New York session. Even London session, by the time London was not really giving me what I was anticipating for, so I did not took any trade on London, but I did take trade on New York session, which was, yeah, I get my ass handed to me today. So well, basically that's just it. And if you see, today candle was bullish while I was anticipating for a bearish candle, right? So and there is a liquidity around this area, which is another things that supports the fact that even though we are coming all the way back to this area, there's a higher tendency price is going to retrace before going or before continuing the trend higher. So until we get here, we are going to stick on, we're going to be continue anticipating for more bullish price action. So these two red line is indicating, I don't know how dark it is or whether you guys can see it, but let me make them darker so that you guys could see it. If you see the way I put my Fibonacci 2 on the dollar index, that is how I put it here, and I was able to derive these two region. This, the upper one is the 25% and the lower one is this 50% of this candle range, which is from the low to the high. So basically I'm anticipating for price to retrace all the way to this between these 25 to 50%. I don't want to see price go below the 50% except we are coming down to this fair value gap. But anyway, there's no reason for price to come all the way back to this area yet, since we have this obvious liquidity that price is willing and rushing to fulfill. So until that liquidity is taken, I'm not anticipating for price to get all the way back to this point. So from now, I'm still in support of fast delivery and fast price movement all the way higher. So any form of retracement might not be very lucrative. That means we might not see much retracement in price, but there's going to be a little retracement that we can participate in. So on the 4-hour, we see there's a 4-hourly order block here, and yes, we have our 50%, 25% region here and 50% region. If price want to really deep down then we might go get all the way back to this 4 hour order block, but which I don't support price coming all the way back here. But there is a high tendency we might get there. But this 25% region, if price get to this 25% region, that will be a great deal for me to look for my entry model if it gets there according to my time. So because I do trade with time, I don't just say, okay, imagine price, if price trade down to this level, now I'm not going to take any trade except it's either in New York or in London session. Whether it gets here during Tokyo and all, I'm not going to participate in any until my trading hours gets handed to me. So that is how I trade anyway. So we have a hourly order block here. You see, this was the fair value gap that pushed us all the way up to this previous week high. And if you can see, this is post New York session, that is afternoon. The PM session of what, New York. The AM session of New York didn't do anything much, which I was either looking for two things during the New York AM session. So price was around here, and I was anticipating for price to come all the way lower to seek for this equal relative equal lows, of consequently come for this relative equal lows, which I also call out to be my draw on liquidity during London session. But price fails to get here, we continue higher, and price failed to get here. But anyway, price retraces back into this fair value gap and rally higher. So there is a higher tendency that if price wants to give us what is it called, if price want to retrace and give us a lower price tomorrow, then we are going to use this order block as a good, as this other block as a good criteria or PDRA to anticipate for higher price move all the way back to this buy side liquidity. So that is it basically for the Euro US dollar. Then we go to the GBP. Well, why every other candle was doing theirs, the GBP was also moving very fast. On GBP, it is very, the reason for this fast move is clearly on GBP due to the weekly CRT candle. Whenever we have a CRT candle, the price tends to move faster to seek for that CRT high if the low is taken. Unlike here, we have taken the low of the CRT candle and we are going back to the upper price. So there is a higher tendency price is going to want to be moving very fast. So this week, if you want to trade any, like we normally do on DXY, we used to take position trading or swing trading on DXY on GBP. So if you want to really trade this week, what I was calling out for GBP to do also was to for today candle to be bearish but still create a fair value gap, but which we did not, and which is telling me, because if we did, then I would have said price is going to retrace on the fair value gap and take us all the way to this weekly range high. But anyway, since this weekly range high still remain active and we have price already trading around close to it, so we can surely say this price is going to get all the way to this weekly range high. And also don't forget, we still have our monthly candle range high, which is another criteria why price is going to be very bullish and lucrative as we continue to go forward. So currently, if we're going to do the same thing on GBP, if we're going to mark out our 50% on this market, then we're going to have our 25% region around this area. So our 25% region is here and our 50% region is here. I'm going to leave that on and go to the lower time frame, then we can actually see why price, or anticipate why price should come all the way that lower. So yes, we have a bullish order block, although it seems like price has already retraced to the bullish order block, right? So okay, that is, price has not even tapped on it. It's just the bullish order block is just and we didn't really tapped on it, and this candle was the one that failed to tap on it, which is an inducement, and also giving us higher probability to anticipate for GBP to get all the way to this place. Then if GBP is going to get all the way back to this place, then know that euro is going to get all the way back to the hourly fair value gap. So let's mark our 25% region here. In case you cannot see it, I try to still make this chart bigger. So this is our 25% region. That's our 25% region, and we have our 50% region around here. And this is other block. So if we are going to get in between the other block, so we're going to make the other block. So yeah, this is our 4-hourly order block, and we have our 50 and 25% region around between the other block. So there is a high probability where price is going to get all the way down to this area if price want to give us an opportunity to take to enter as premium. And let's look at the 4-hour. On this we can have a range. We see we have a range. Actually we have a range here. We have our range low here and our range high here, except price take this high, which we now disqualify our range high. But for now we have a range high here, and also we have a tiny range high depending on how this candle closes before we know if this is actually a range high. So if you take this range and this range, then the 50% will be around this area, which because of the high prevalence in price to go higher, we might not really get to see the 62 or the 70% region to retrace into if we want to make use of that as a range. So on the on the hourly time frame, we see that price, only take liquidity and we get back. So we're going to continue to range here like this. For me, that's what I'm anticipating for. We have equal relative equal lows again around this 4-hour order block, which is another reason price is going to come all the way back to this area before pushing higher if price did want to give us that retracement. Although we're going to continue observing price going into our trading hours, and if price is actually giving us what we want to see, then we can take any conscious trade and monitor it. So this is Bitcoin, and I'm not gonna talk much on Bitcoin, but yeah, Bitcoin is really on a range right now, meaning we have our range low, range high here, and price. I don't know why price is not willing to get here. I told you guys consequently on our previous video that except price gets back to this area, there's no reason we are going to see price continue to go lower except we get here. And we see even when we get back here that we fail to still tap on it, price retrace lower, and we are still going back to that area. So that what is that telling you? That the theory or the algorithm which IC as an ICT trader we tend to understand is paramount to price, meaning that because there is a fair value gap, a weekly and a daily fair value gap, and there is a liquidity line around this price, you see price cannot leave it. We came, even when we reject, we came back, we are going back there again, and whenever price gets here we might actually see a very sharp delivery lower. So until price gets here, I'm still keeping my hand tied up. I'm not engaging in anything on Bitcoin. But let me tell you guys, if you're seeking for buyers going in on Bitcoin, I think you should also be bullish on Bitcoin. And previous week high can be your target. But let's go to the 4 hourly time frame, because I saw something very nice on the 4 hour time frame on Bitcoin. Now this is what I see. And I used to tell you guys that on Bitcoin like retracement. All right, especially if you are good with OTE trading strategy, optimum trade entry levels, then you can do a lot more on Bitcoin. Like I show you guys, I think last week while I was doing video, how Bitcoin keep retracing before going higher, retrace before going higher. If we use that concept here again, we see how Bitcoin retraced back to the 72 to 60% region. BTC doesn't even do 50%. It comes back all the way to 72 or 60% region, 62% region before going higher. So what do we have here? We have a new range going in tomorrow, and around the 50% we have a fair value gap, which is something I really wanted to show you guys. So why I'm anticipating for Bitcoin to get all the way back to this level. All right, we're going to use this fair value gap to price higher, and also we have our bullish order block here. Although we have a week, the bullish order block has a week, which is, if we go on the lower time frame, we might see the bullish order block properly. Look at the bullish order block is at 70% region, so there is a higher tendency this is going to support price tomorrow. I'm not trading this, I'm just adding it to the chart, so don't go and take a trade, because I know Nigerians, or I know my people. So yes, if you're targeting previous week high, you can have this, and this is 1 ratio 2.6, 2.69, almost 2.7 risk to reward ratio. So this is a very sweet trade that you can be anticipating for if prices retrace all the way back to the 70% region, and also the hourly bullish order block. So this is basically what we're looking out for going on tomorrow or Wednesday on Bitcoin. So thanks guys for coming, and if you really enjoy this video, you can please you know taps on the comment section, or give us a like, so that to help us push this video to more audience. Thank you so much, and God bless you. I really love the fact that you come here every day to participate on our daily videos like this, and assure you that with time you're gonna understand and know how to determine your daily bias, which I'm going to start posting videos on how to do daily videos. So if you really want to learn more, then you can subscribe to this channel, and I'm going to show you what a game changer on how I determine my daily bias.